it's off in the woods and it's quiet back there and nobody fools with it. So we go back there and catch some big ones right quick. Nice gator. That's a big old alligator.
Deep in the harsh swamps of Bayou Sorrel, Willie Edwards built a life rooted in tradition, hunting, surviving, and carrying on the ways of his ancestors. To viewers, he's the fearless gator hunter from Swamp People, a symbol of resilience and family pride. But off camera, Willie's story is far more complex. Behind the treble hooks and bayou bravado lies a history marked by personal loss, quiet struggles, and challenges that never made it into the spotlight. From family tragedies to swirling rumors and unexpected setbacks, his journey has been anything but easy. So what really happened to the fan favorite who once ruled these waters, and why did he vanish without warning? Willie Edwards' story begins deep in the heart of Bayou Sorrel, Louisiana. Born William Edwards III on June 20, 1982, Willie came from a long line of swamp dwellers. His parents, Junior and Teresa Edwards, were commercial fishers by trade, earning their keep directly from the land and waters around them. For the Edwards family, the swamp was more than home, it was the source of food, income, and identity. From crawfish to deer, frogs to wild pigs, the bayou provided everything, and the family knew how to take full advantage of it. Willie was immersed in this way of life from day one. He learned to navigate the winding waterways, to fish with skill, to build the tools he needed, and eventually, to hunt the alligators that have become his signature pursuit. None of these lessons came from books or classrooms. They were learned by doing, side by side with his father and younger brother Randy. Together, they absorbed everything about swamp life, forging not just skills but bonds that would carry through into adulthood. Despite the demanding lifestyle, Willie attended Plaquemine Senior High School in the nearby town of Plaquemine. While there's no official record confirming whether he graduated, what's clear is that his real education was happening far from any desk. He was learning resilience, resourcefulness, and how to stay connected to the land. That mix of traditional schooling and swamp schooling helped shape him into the man viewers would eventually come to know on television. At just 18 years old, Willie married his high school sweetheart, Sherry Bonin, who came from the nearby town of Barrick, Louisiana. The couple tied the knot on August 20, 2000, surrounded by friends and family, ready to begin their chapter in the bayou. Later that same year, they welcomed their first child, Michaela Desai Edwards, in October 2000. While Michaela never appeared on Swamp People, she was an important part of the Edwards family's private world. She was raised in Louisiana right alongside her younger brothers as part of a close-knit, outdoors-loving family. Sadly, Michaela passed away at a young age. The Edwards family has kept the details surrounding her death private, never speaking publicly about the circumstances. What is known comes from a heartfelt tribute her mother shared on Facebook on October 20, 2020, what would have been Michaela's 20th birthday. In that message, Sherry expressed how deeply missed her daughter is, a reminder that even though Michaela is no longer physically with them, her presence is still felt every single day. In 2010, Willie Edwards stepped into the national spotlight as a cast member on the History Channel's hit reality series Swamp People. The show dives into the gritty, everyday lives of alligator hunters working in the Atchafalaya River Basin, one of the wildest and most unforgiving swamps in America. Right from the start, Willie stood out with his calm confidence in the water and razor-sharp hunting instincts. He quickly became a fan favorite, but he wasn't alone. He made his debut alongside his father, Junior Edwards, a veteran commercial fisherman. Together, they were introduced as a father-son team from Bayou Sorrel, carrying on a tough but proud family tradition rooted deep in the Louisiana swamp. Willie's first appearance came in the very first episode of the series, titled Big Head Bites It, which aired on August 22, 2010. While most of the episode focused on Troy Landry tracking down a massive gator named Big Head, Willie and Junior were shown prepping for the season in their own quiet, methodical way, building treble hooks, organizing gear, and getting their boat ready. Unlike some of the more dramatic hunting scenes, their segment emphasized a steady, hands-on approach. It also subtly introduced a bigger story, the passing of the torch. While Junior anchored the boat, Willie was already stepping into a more active role. By the time Swamp People rolled into its second season in 2011, things were shifting fast between Junior and Willie Edwards. One of the most defining moments came in the episode Hot Pursuit, when Junior handed Willie his very own boat. That wasn't just a symbolic gesture, it was a real-world test of leadership, responsibility, and trust. Willie had always been eager to show what he could do, but now he had to prove it with no safety net. Of course, the learning curve was steep. In the episode Rising Suns, Willie accidentally took out the oldest shotgun they owned, a moment that could have derailed the hunt. But instead of folding, he powered through. Then came Full Moon Fever, where he worked double time, hunting by day and even catching snakes at night just to bring in a few extra bucks. Those early episodes showed a young man with real grit and determination. He wasn't perfect, but he didn't back down, and that told viewers exactly what he was made of. Off the water, 2011 brought a life-changing surprise. When Willie was just a kid, he had broken one of his front teeth in a childhood accident and never got it fixed. For years, he simply accepted that this was the way he'd look. But then the Robinson Dental Group stepped in. Dr. Robinson appeared on the show and offered Willie a complete dental restoration free of charge. For the first time in years, Willie could smile with confidence, and it marked a turning point in how he carried himself both on and off the swamp. Fast forward to Season 3 in 2012. The hunts were getting even more intense. One of the standout moments came during the battle with Leo the lion, a gator with a growl that sent chills down your spine. But what really stood out wasn't the gator, it was the growing tension between father and son. Junior began questioning Willie's hunting techniques, even throwing shade at the hooks Willie had crafted himself. In the episode Treebreaker 2, Junior tossed aside their usual treble hook setup and opted for baited poles instead. Willie, feeling the pressure to innovate, responded by designing a brand new hook from scratch. That decision said a lot. Their hunting styles and their entire approach were beginning to split. By Season 4, which aired in 2013, the cracks were becoming hard to ignore. In one unforgettable episode called Breaking Point, Willie made a critical misjudgment. He thought a gator was dead, it wasn't. In an instant, the gator snapped, nearly taking off Willie's fingers. His reaction was raw, he yelled out in pain, and Junior rushed in to help. The bite was brutal, it left Willie with deep cuts across most of his fingers and even broke one of his toes. He had to be rushed home for immediate care. The moment was a sobering reminder of just how deadly the swamp really is, not just because of the sheer force of a gator's jaws, but because of the nasty bacteria they carry, often from the rotting remains of whatever they ate last. One bite could mean a deadly infection, even if you survive the initial attack. And just when it seemed like things couldn't get more intense, Willie suffered another blow. During a particularly tough hunt, he was accidentally struck by bullet fragments. That incident didn't just hurt, it broke something inside him. Worn out from the physical pain and emotional strain and tired of butting heads with Junior, Willie made a dramatic decision. He walked away. Left behind were 175 unfilled tags, a massive number by any swamp hunter's standards. After stepping away from his father's boat for a while, Willie returned to the swamp with a new sense of purpose. In the 2013 episode Young Blood, he teamed up with his brother Randy for their first solo hunting expedition. They headed into a patch of marshland they called Gator Heaven, untouched for over 4 decades. Getting there meant pushing through snake-infested trails, but the risk didn't matter. Willie was determined to carve his path. Even though the family bond stayed strong, it was clear that his ambition had become deeply personal. By Season 5 in 2014, Willie's independence took center stage. In Hooked, he pushed back against Junior's doubts by creating a lighter treble hook and testing it out himself. Later, in Beast of the Lake, he faced a swarm of aggressive, cannibalistic gators, alone. No backup, no safety net, it was just Willie, his instincts, and his unwavering drive. One of the most meaningful moments came in Blood Brothers. With only 2 tags left, he and Randy came across a pair of massive gators near a gas station. The 2 reptiles seemed like mirror images of the brothers themselves. Catching them felt symbolic, a fitting emotional end to a tough season that had tested them in every way. But by 2016, change was in the air. Both Willie and Junior were dropped from Swamp People, and rumors flew that it was due to a salary dispute. The Edwards family took to Facebook to clear the air. They firmly denied asking for more money and explained that the production company simply chose not to bring them back. For them, life on the bayou had never depended on being on camera, they'd been surviving off the land long before the show. Still, Season 7 saw Willie's return, now completely on his own. In Monster Men, he faced down the biggest gator of his life, transforming what could have been a disastrous ambush into a hard-fought victory. That episode proved beyond doubt that he was no longer in anyone's shadow, he was his own man. Over the following seasons, Willie's grit kept being tested. In Vampire Gator, he struggled to get his season started. Later episodes like Good Luck Bad Luck and Time's Running Out showed him dealing with poachers and unstable market conditions. In Racing Sundown, he was up against the clock, pushing hard to tag out before dark. Then came a moment that felt almost like destiny. In Season 8, facing financial uncertainty, Willie hunted a massive gator he believed was the same one that had stolen his treble hook a year earlier. Alone in the swamp, he set out for revenge. The battle was fierce, but he emerged victorious, hauling in a beast just shy of 12 feet and weighing an astonishing 522 pounds. It wasn't just a catch, it was redemption. 2018 brought both challenges and heartbreak. Willie took on new strategies in Hotter Than Hell, dealt with gear failure in Lone Hunter, and braved the eerie waters of Black Lagoon battle. But behind the scenes, tragedy struck. His younger brother and longtime hunting partner, Randy Dale Edwards, died in a car accident at just 35 years old. The news sent shockwaves through fans and the cast alike. According to the police report, the crash occurred after Randy failed to navigate a curve, and it was believed that impairment may have played a role. He left behind a wife, 3 children, and a family reeling from the loss. To make matters worse, there had already been heartbreak in the family. Randy's daughter, Caitlin Edwards, had passed away before him. While details about her death remain private, the back-to-back tragedies weighed heavily on the Edwards clan. Rumors also began to swirl online that Willie himself had passed away. But the confusion stemmed from the death of another man with a similar name, Willie Edwards Jr. In reality, Willie was alive and still doing what he does best, hunting gators. By 2019, the battles became even more personal. In Hungary for more, he went head-to-head with a massive 900-pound gator that had been wreaking havoc on his lines. In Legends of the Swamp, he got stranded due to engine failure but bounced back in rolling with the punches by tracking down a familiar adversary. His resilience was on full display. Then a new chapter began. Willie brought his son, William IV, better known as Little Willie, into the world of alligator hunting after graduating from Plamen Senior High in 2019. Little Willie joined the show in 2020, engaging bulls as he officially stepped onto the stage. Willie wasted no time teaching him the family's secret weapon, the treble hook. Little Willie learned fast, landing his first gator with his dad proudly watching. That same season, Little Willie shocked everyone by catching an 11 feet 6 inches monster using the homemade treble hook. It was a rite of passage, one that even brought tears to Willie's eyes. Season 11 became Little Willie's proving ground. He braved extreme heat, painful cramps, and introduced a weird but effective bait nicknamed Guzza Pipe. From surviving a Friday the 13th hunt in a place called the Graveyard to leading the season's final hunt in Final Showdown, he earned his place as a true swamp warrior. By 2021 in Heatwave, Willie and Little Willie split up for the first time. Willie rejoined Junior on one boat, while Little Willie took the reins on another. Exhaustion set in as he managed 80 baited lines, but he didn't quit. In Day of the Deckhand, he bounced back, and episodes like Firepower and You Bet Your Gator showcased his evolution. By season 12, it was clear Little Willie wasn't just a trainee anymore, he was well on his way to becoming a co-captain in the Edwards family legacy. Then 2022 rolled around, and Willie wasn't just back in the game, he was on fire. In the episode Battle of Black Lagoon, he returned to a familiar hunting ground, determined to settle the score with a legendary gator that had eluded him before. And in Swamp Juice, Willie and his son Little Willie went head-to-head in a friendly competition to see who had the better aim. Their father-son dynamic was put to the test in Tag Team Gators, where Willie focused on mentoring his boy, preparing him for the bigger responsibilities that come with life in the swamp. Little Willie was clearly stepping up, each tag he filled, every shot he took showed a young hunter growing in confidence. From fighting through injuries in Battle of the Sexes to staying focused during brutal storms in Swamp Professor, he proved he had the grit and determination to keep going no matter what the swamp threw his way. But then came 2023, and with it, a bittersweet moment. In Pickle's Secret Weapon, Little Willie shared that he might be leaving the swamp life behind to pursue work on land. For Willie, this was a turning point, not just as a father but as a mentor. He'd done the hard part, guiding his son into adulthood. Even though Willie continued hunting solo in pirate-cursed gators, the absence of his son was deeply felt. Still, there was pride in every step he took, knowing the swamp had left its mark on the next generation. At the same time, fans began to notice Willie's long absence from the show. Speculation took off. Some believed he might be seriously ill, and there were even unconfirmed whispers of cancer. Though Willie himself never addressed the rumors directly, his disappearance sparked real concern among viewers. Fans expressed their love and worry online, urging him to take care, complimenting his smile, and wondering if he was okay. Then, in early 2024, his wife Cher made a heartfelt post on Facebook. She spoke about the toll cancer can take, not just on the body but on the spirit. She described the pain, the medical treatments, and the emotional weight of it all. While she never confirmed who was battling the illness, her words hit home for many, especially those who'd faced similar struggles. Willie eventually returned to Swamp People on January 18, 2024, and fans were ecstatic to see him back in action. They poured into the comment sections of his social media, cheering his return and hoping for more. He still hadn't said much about his break, but one thing was clear, he was still every bit the swamp legend. Season 15 of Swamp People kicked off with a bang. Troy Landry, the king of the swamp, set the stage with an epic goal: catch 900 gators in one season. The Landry crew, including Jacob, Chase, Don, Cheyenne, and Pickle Wheat, were given the task of landing 40 gators each to start. They hit the swamp running, and by the end of the first day, they were just one shy of that 80 gator target. But after that explosive start, the season started to feel repetitive. Tag after tag, boat after boat, it all began to blend together. Even with Troy's signature Cajun charm and Pee-wee's witty one-liners, the excitement was fading. It wasn't until the focus shifted to the Edwards family that things truly came alive again. Willie and Little Willie were hunting a massive gator that had been attacking livestock. They didn't have many tags left, and with no treble hook and only a modest skiff, they went after a beast that turned out to be over 13 feet long. That catch marked a turning point. It wasn't about quantity anymore, it was about quality and danger. Soon after, they crossed paths with another monster. This one even had a name, Renegade, a 12-footer with raw power. This gator broke free during their first attempt, leaving Little Willie with a burned hand and a bruised ego. They came back with a smarter plan, setting a trap near a gator nest. This time, they didn't miss. The capture brought back real excitement to the season and reminded fans what made Swamp People so gripping in the first place. Season 15 ended not just with Willie proving his staying power, but with Little Willie coming into his own. He wasn't just the apprentice anymore, he was becoming a full-fledged swamper, taking on dangerous hunts, learning from mistakes, and showing he could carry the Edwards legacy forward. Then came Season 16, which took things up another notch. The final episodes, like the final 48, delivered relentless tension. Hunters faced everything from storms to vicious gators, and with time running out, they were pushed to their absolute limits. The energy was electric, and fans were glued to the screen. In 2025, though, Willie took another step back from the spotlight. Fans were not happy about it. Social media blew up with people asking where he'd gone, demanding answers. At the same time, Little Willie was stepping forward, making his mark, and continuing the family tradition. Despite not being front and center on the show, Willie never stopped hunting. In September 2024, he posted a photo online with Little Willie standing beside a massive gator. Fans flooded the post with comments celebrating his return to the swamp. As of now, there's no official word on whether Willie will return to Swamp People. He's been a staple of the series for years, and with Little Willie now in the game, he might decide to pass the torch for good. But judging by the photos, the stories, and the fans who refuse to stop asking about him, it's clear Willie Edwards isn't done just yet. Thank you for watching.